Palantir announces a new deal with a very familiar red-headed girl. The fast food chain of Wendy's, and fun fact, many years ago, I used to work as a shift manager at one of the restaurants back in college, and that blew besides my free shift meal. Now, Wendy's is taking a big step to integrate Palantir for the Quality Supply Chain Co-op, or QSCC, where they will be taking the steps to digitally transform, adopt AI, and make operational decisions, and this is across the QSCC. Now, the goal is to, no surprise, get a fully integrated supply chain network with finding opportunities to automate and utilize AI, and that's to improve. And this is between suppliers, distributors, and the restaurants. So it's not solely internal kind of deal, and really sounds like they're trying to get the upstream involvement, even if it's, say, maybe not their whole network. And of course, this is to save money in a razor thin margin business like fast casual dining. And apparently, this is the second largest in the quick service industry, with covering more than 6,400 restaurants in the US and Canada. So they will be doing this in phases, with phase one is to really improve the scaling and decision making first across the co-op, and then get the ontology started up, which is to have that single common operating picture, which we seem to hear about from basically all the new deals nowadays that are getting to Palantir. And I like how they point this out too, to help technical and non-technical users to make decisions, as well as evaluate their efficacies and build custom modular applications. Then after in phase two though, they will be using AIP for supply chain management, waste prevention, which I do have funny stories about, as well as dynamic inventory management, variance, and gain information for restaurants, and demand deviation and allocation. And this, of course, is to be a better organization to leverage large language models to actually save money, as well as create efficiencies across their supply chain. And they close out with a few quotes for the PR. Now, from my own personal experience, and word of warning, this is more than a decade ago, so obviously things have changed. This is when we had the receipts printed out and had to track the order manually like that, and we didn't even have an order number screen tracker or automated kiosk, which caused so much inefficiencies on the back end. But from working at Wendy's on the ground floor, and to be clear, I was at a corporate ran store, meaning we were not under a franchisee who had the right to operate under Wendy's. Essentially, we were just restaurant employees for a corporation. I started working as a crew member for like $8 an hour, and it was very simple time, or I actually got promoted in like 2 months to a shift manager for $1 more per hour. And looking back though, that was probably not a good idea, but interfacing with their POS system and closing out the cash register, taking inventory, putting in orders, and tracking waste, which I actually didn't do at all, which is horrible looking back, but also no one did anything about it. Essentially, inventory was always off and ordering less because waste wasn't being properly tracked, but the money was always right, just so you know. But I still get stressed thinking about the times for fresh veggies, where we sometimes had to run to a local grocery store if we ran out of stuff, which really dampens the mood when you're a person short during a rush. But this deal sounds very important for their corporate side to figure out and really get their workflows automated, especially around inventory tracking and waste. And note, it wasn't that primitive though with the POS system back in the day. We were still able to track the exact amount of food technically sold and had a rough idea of how much food still had to be ordered automatically. But there was still that freedom for managers to manually increase or decrease stuff, especially if you counted something that was over or under stock during your rounds. But automating this will be a game changer for the corporate side, because this is across thousands of stores. And when it's a manual thing or less than perfect process, as you can tell from my own personal experience, this can lead to millions, if not tens of millions of dollars in waste if you add that up all together. So this will be exciting as a more consumer facing customer for Palantir as they take this on. And maybe we'll see improvements around Wendy's, because besides the money side, supply chain for Wendy's is massive for the quality of food as well. But what are your thoughts down below? And I'll see you in the next video.